Hello y'all. So today I am going to replace my risers and manifold on my V8 5.0 Mercruiser engine. I've never done it before, but I watched YouTube videos on how to do it. So it's about noon, so I'm doing it in the heat of the sun, which was very smart, and here we go. It's not time for my first beer yet, but I'll have several before I'm done. The engine, it doesn't look like it's in bad shape, but you can see this hairline crack right there. And I am definitely getting some water in the bilge, so time to replace this sucker. I'm not using any power tools. I've just got my trusty Craftsman wrench, and these bolts are coming out pretty easy with a what is that, a 9/16 socket, and so I've got them loose, and I'm going to just do the rest of it by fingers. Well, maybe not that way. There we go. They're coming right out, which is great. So hopefully the rest of the process goes as easily. So the idea from what I saw online is I'm changing the flappers too. So you undo the bolts, hit it with a rubber mallet, slide it forward because I kind of have a limited space here, and then do the bolts on the manifold after that. So I'll get to work and update you as I go. I ran into something I didn't expect. This came off. I had to give it a whack with this mallet. Not a problem. Came right off, but it won't come off this rubber hose that connects the riser to the tube with the flapper in it. So I don't know what to do. I'm thinking I'm going to get some hot water, pour it on it to make the rubber a little more flexible, and then I'm going to twist this and pull. See if that gives it helps me out at all. Well, I didn't get it loose with the hot water, but I did manage to get the elbow out of this hose. So I've got the whole piece that I'll soak in hot water to see if I can get that rubber hose off. Another problem, I've started taking the bolts out of the manifold, and these two end ones came out pretty easy, but the center one came out easy, but I kind of run into that. So I'm going to have to remember, well, I'll just leave it like that, but then when I put the new one on, I have to remember to put that in before I put it in place, I guess. Anyway. Okay, I got the first manifold off and the riser, so now I'm on the other side. I've loosened the clamps on the rubber elbow, and on this one the shift mechanism is attached to the riser. So I'm going to unscrew this, just set it aside, and then hopefully it'll go right back on. That's what I'm hoping. All right, I'll update you. Okay, now that I have a bit of an idea of what I'm doing, this one came off easier. I just can't be afraid to lift and pull very hard, and I did, and this one popped right out. It's kind of interesting. If you look down there on the port side, there is no flapper at all. On this side, there's the remnants of a burnt out flapper, which, oh, there's part of it right there. And the rest of it will have to get chiseled out, I guess. So, yeah. Good thing I'm replacing those. Unfortunately, I bought the wrong ones, so I'll hopefully the marine store will have them. But here we go. You know, as I get in here, I just want to fix everything. I want to replace every rusty screw and all that, but then I guess I'd never finish. So, all right. Another little thing I've realized, I've been using a large socket wrench, just a second, to get these bolts out of the manifold. But with these hoses here, I really don't want to undo those and remove them. Oops, there goes a wrench. So I'm using a smaller one. So it's nice to have a set or a selection of sockets so you can get into different sizes, or into these tight spaces. Screw out, bolt out, same issue as on the other side, because it impacts this board. It won't come all the way out, so I'm going to have to, once I take this bolt out, I'll hold my hand under it, or maybe I'll hold it like this. Anyway, but I'll knock it with a sledgehammer. That'll get it loose, and or mallet, I mean, and that'll get it loose. The other thing, there's a bolt here that holds the fuel filter on, so you'll have to take that off as well. Here we go. Okay, it's time to put the manifold and risers back together. So here's what I'm doing. The first thing I did is I put the brass plugs that came with this thing in on the manifold and on the riser. And I also had to go out and buy a couple things. I had to buy this socket to do it, because I didn't have a hex bolt that was big enough to do that. And then I also ended up buying a torque wrench, because when you here's my torque wrench. So when you put the manifolds and the risers on, you do it to a torque of 25 foot-pounds. So that's what I have done, and set my wrench to 25, so that's easy. I've also heard some people say you go to 10 pounds, then 15, then the 25 across all screws. So that's basically what I'm going to do. So time to put these things back on. I'm not going to film it all because I'm going to be holding this big heavy manifold, but I'm going to remember to put, when I lift the manifold into place, to have the screw in, or the bolt in, for this one, because remember, this gets in the way on both sides. So that's what I will do.
The whole big thing we were talking about ended up in a lawsuit.
Oh no.
Like, yay, there's a god.
Putting this back on, a buddy of mine came over and we started drinking. So anyway, I took this riser, or both risers, put them in. I found it easier to keep the rubber and the elbow attached, put the riser down without the silver gasket on, sliding it in, and there was a memory to that rubber, which, because I didn't change the rubber, whatever you call this, flange or what have you. But I slid this in, it went right in there. I had this loose, so I was able to adjust this back and forth as need be, so it would sit flat. Then I tightened down all these clamps. I did down below first, and then up here. And I did that on both sides. Then I put the riser bolts in and tighten those down first to 15 foot-pounds and then to 25 foot-pounds per the directions for this boat. So yeah, so then the next thing, I had the fuel filter, I guess, I think is what that is, had this thing attaching to the manifold. So I'm putting that back on, and I'm not going to exceed, like 15 foot-pounds. I'm assuming it doesn't really matter, it's just a clamp. Yeah, so I'll keep going from there. That, whatever that is, the fuel filter is reattached. I'm going to take the hose under here and reattach it to the bottom of the manifold. Gotta find that clamp I had, put that back on, and then also remember to put the blue drain plug in the bottom of the thing. For those of you that don't know, blue drain plugs go in the bottom there and screw in like so. And then every winter you want to take these out and drain the manifold so it doesn't crack, and you don't have to do this job again anytime soon. I'm just going to leave that there for the rest of the season. Alright. That, whatever that is, the fuel filter is reattached. I'm going to take the hose under here and reattach it to the bottom of the manifold. Gotta find that clamp I had, put that back on, and then also remember to put the blue drain plug in the bottom of the thing. For those of you that don't know, these blue drain plugs go in the bottom there and screw in like so. And then every winter you want to take these out and drain the manifold so it doesn't crack, and you don't have to do this job again anytime soon. I'm just going to leave that there for the rest of the season. Alright. So in putting on this hose on this side, I broke the clamp. I don't know, just did it too strong, or it was just too old or something. So anyway, putting on another clamp, making sure that the bolt is facing the right way. Now ideally you want to put a stainless steel clamp on. I can't tell if that's stainless steel or not. So anyway, it's going on. I'll just have to remember to check it every season, make sure it's not rusting out. But if I don't have salt water in the boat, it shouldn't be an issue anyway. We'll see. So far so good. Started on the first turn. It's just been burned. So now I'm going to let it warm up. I'm told I'm supposed to be able to leave my hand on the riser and it won't be hot to the touch if everything's working right. So we'll see. It started on the first turn. I don't see any water dripping anywhere. I'm feeling cautiously optimistic. What's that? It's doing that. No, I think it's fine. And then I need to adjust the shifter after that. I just replaced the risers and manifolds on both sides of my 1995 Bayliner Mercury V8 Alpha 1, and this riser still gets very hot, and I don't know why. So I'm looking in my exchange, and it seems okay. I mean, there might be a little bit of crud in there, but not a lot. Going over to the other side, there is some down below, but is it enough to have one side run cool and the other side run hot? So I'm confused. So here I'm shining the light through one side to the other. Here, I'm gonna go this way because I can get a better view of it, I think. So yeah, I've got the light, and it's not going all the way through like I think it's supposed to. So I saw online some people ran clear CLR pipe cleaner through theirs, and I saw that other people ran this something buster, bunker buster or something. So I'm going to look into that. I think think I can get the clear tonight and put that in there. And that bunker buster sounds like something you have to order from somewhere special, and I'm not in a place to be able to do that. Okay, I'll Google that one. I'll let you know. Hey, Sam. So here I've got a light going through the top. Looks okay. Going down. Looks like there's a little bit of clogging in there. And on this side, same thing. Down below. And that's definitely clogged up a bit down below. So that might be the issue. But my question then is, why would that allow one side to be cool and the other side to be hot? This one gets hotter than heck. That one stays cool. Wouldn't they both get hot?